Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of A Work in Progress. I, of course, am your host, Brent Piles, and with me, as always, is a man who lives across the ocean and is from the future. It's G.A. Russell Nut Glenn Abbott. Glenn, how the heck are you?
I'm good, and I'm quite pleased that I'm not the only one from the future today.
That is true. We also have a couple other guests from the future, but this man is not from the future. Well, for me, he's from the future because he's an hour ahead of me. It is Drew Marintyre, of course, the mayor of Canton. Mayor of Canton, how are you this morning?
Man, I'm doing great. We got 5 people here, which is 2 plus 3 count, and we could do the 3 count song, but we're not going to do that.
No,
We're not going to sing the 3 count song tonight.
Well, we might. I don't know where this is going to go. Let's introduce our two guests for this very special watch along of what I've been told is the funniest wrestler of all time. And of course, one of our hosts. He is one of the hosts of the wonderful Doctor Who podcast with Danny Inside, my jingle that I sing every week. Dan Griffin, how the heck are you?
I'm disappointed. I cut the nipples out of my shirt, especially for the 3 count song, and now we're not going to do it. I've all this prep work for nothing. What the fuck's going on?
Well, hey, Glenn, I'm glad to see your nipples for one. If I was saying myself,
it's great to be here. I'm looking forward to doing this.
Yeah, this has been on the books for a while, but we had some technical difficulties in life, but we're finally here. And with Dan, of course, it's his podcast colleague, UTT Rob. Rob, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad we finally got this one booked in. There's been a few missteps along the way, so it's great to catch up with you guys and get to talk a bit less Kellett.
And of course, it's hard for us Midwesterners to get you English guys to get on the time schedule that meets our time schedule. When we were talking about doing this, Dan said, "Anybody going to be drunk?" And I said, "Unless I'm an alcoholic who starts drinking at 10 a.m., no."
I've got a beer.
Well, what time is it where y'all are at? 5?
It's always 5 o'clock somewhere, isn't it?
Well, we get it out. We get it out. We get it out of the way, Rob. What are you drinking?
Well, I was going to say, in that 5 o'clock is Paris at the moment, not here. But at the moment, I am drinking Wapalooza, which is a gluten-free hazy pale ale at 4.8% from Tartarus Beers. And if you want to drink Tartarus Beers, come on to tartarusbeers.co.uk and put in the promo code UTT Podcast 15 and get 15% off.
That's right. Plug that shit.
We don't know what the status is on. Well, we don't know what the status is on international shipping, so you'd have to check that beforehand. I'm drinking. I can't remember what I've got because I've not tried it yet. It's called Thermal Catalyst. It's from Atom Brewery. It's a collaboration with the Patty Shack, and it's a Carolina Reaper and Habanero American Pale Ale. I haven't had a drink yet, so I don't know how hot it is. So you may just witness me blow my ass out live on air. So cheers.
I can't wait. Take a drink. Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be something.
That's a spicy ass beer right there.
That is disappointing.
Oh well.
There's barely any burn whatsoever.
Oh.
Let's
or maybe it doesn't burn on the way in.
Oh yeah, wait till it comes out. That's gonna be the worst part. You're gonna have to go outside to take a piss, or you're gonna burn your whole house down. You peeing fire.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Now, Mayor, what are you drinking?
Well, I have this nice foreign imported Diet Mountain Dew that is a 0.0% sugar-free piece of crap that I took out of the refrigerator because it's only 11 o'clock in the morning here and I needed some caffeine.
Well, Mayor, I'm going with the good old-fashioned purified water, 0 proof, right here. So.
Mm-hmm. We know what you put in there.
I'm just going with a ton of chemicals.
There we go. The Cokes are probably worse for you than beer at this point.
It probably is.
Probably.
You don't make up a hangover with drinking Coke.
That's 100% fact. You cannot get a hangover from drinking Coke. You can just get kidney disease. Well,
I've had a night where I've been a designated driver, and my mates have been drinking on a pub crawl, and I've been keeping up with them on pints of Coke, and I have felt a lot worse than they have.
Rob's one of these motherfuckers that doesn't get hangovers. So we went out on Thursday. Next morning, Rob's absolutely fine and dandy. I was dying on my ass all day. It's not fair.
I just want to say, go ahead, Rob. I think you're a nice guy, but fuck you, man. That's bullshit.
Yeah, there's some Sunday mornings that are just like I don't want to exist for about 6 hours.
Yeah. I can't even drink beer anymore. Like if I have 2 beers, I'll be fucked the next day. I go off 2 beers. Can't do it. I can't even drink beer.
Just choose not to get hungover. It's the way forward.
Yeah, fuck you. I'd like to choose. That'd be great. I'd like to choose. That would be great. I don't know. Is there anything else we wanted to do or talk about before we get into this? Maybe you guys want to school us on the history of Les Kellett, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah, so Les Kellett sort of came into success later on in life. He was born in 1915, so he's pushing up to 60 at this point. And he's only got a couple more years left in joint promotions. He sort of became a main eventer, maybe even into the late 60s. He had a series of matches with Ricky Starr, who's an American wrestler who you may have heard of, may not, but he was a big wrestler of the 60s. Sort of a comedic wrestler, but he'd been a ballerina, so he put a lot of the ballet style into his matches. He was a big influence on Kellett's turn to the comedy stylings later on. Ricky Starr famously was on an episode of Mr. Ed, the Talking Horse.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with Mr. Ed, for sure.
Yeah, when the wives were fighting up because they both fancied him, so they were fighting over who could do the most baking for him when he put on a load of weight and then wasn't match ready.
That's an amazing storyline right there.
Coming soon to Unbooking The Territory.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to cover that soon. But Les Kellett's from Bradford, and this show that we're reviewing today was filmed at Bradford St George's Hall. And I mean, I've made Dan start drinking the Kool-Aid and believe that Bradford's the home of British wrestling, which sounds a little bit ridiculous when you say it, but there's a lot of things that would support that. So this match is going to be fought under the Mount Evans rules of wrestling, which is the sort of world of sport style.
Oh, okay.
And the reason they brought that in was
with that form of wrestling.
Yeah. But the reason they brought that in the 1930s, there'd been a style called All In, and you know the eye gouges and barbed wire and chairs and the ECW of the day, and it caused a lot of problems basically, and the sport was losing a lot of credibility off the back of it. So there was actually a government commission chaired by a former Admiral of the Navy and member of the House of Lord Admiral Mount Evans, to come up with some new rules. And there were 4 people on this committee, including Lord Admiral Mount Evans. One of them was Norman Merrill from Bradford, who was one of the promoters of this match that we're watching today, and the other was the MP for Bradford, so the senator or whatever in American parlance. So massively influential on the rules and the style of wrestling. But the amount of wrestlers that came out of Bradford, you've probably heard of Jim Breaks because he had a big career in America. I always reference the Jim Breaks special, but wrestlers like that were big in Britain, like Massim Bula was from Bradford, Cyanide, Sid Cooper. Bobby Barron was from Bradford. Now, he trained William Regal, Robbie Brookside, Klondike Kate, just an absolute, litany of wrestlers. So the amount of either famous wrestlers or wrestlers that were trained by someone from Bradford is absolutely ridiculous. So
that's ironic because I watched a Bradford soccer game this morning, so that's ironic. We're talking about Bradford now.
No, we don't talk about City. I'm a Huddersfield Town fan with their main rivals.
Glenn and Dan made me watch it. I just want to say that.
I didn't even watch it. I just mentioned it was on.
Yeah, you didn't make me watch it. I'm just fucking kidding.
But Les Kellett was, big in the Bradford scene. He actually started a promotion with Jack Taylor, who's Dave Taylor's father, that you'll have seen in WCW with William Regal, and they ran some sort of opposition shows in the 50s, etc. And when Kellett leaves joint promotions in 75 and the televised wrestling is off and away promoting with Kellett Taylor Promotions. So a lot of tie-ins there.
There we go. It's a very interesting history lesson. Thank you.
Yeah, as Rob said, we're at Bradford. I know they did a lot more tapings, but they used to put them out as 2 matches per show. On this week's World of Sport, on the 25th of the 9th, 1973, it had Des Kellett versus Bobby Barnes, and then coincidentally, Bobby Barnes' tag partner Adrian Street versus a guy called Dave Barry.
And Dave Barry is Les Kellett's son.
Is it?
Yeah. So keeping it well in the family.
Yes.
But Bobby Barron and Adrian Street are tagged in the Hells Angels. Was the name of the tag team. And
they would have been in big trouble in America. They would have had some big bad bikers looking for them.
Well, they used to be dressed like the Beverly Brothers.
The players would have beaten the piss out of all of them.
One of these days, I will show you one of their matches because they're good as well.
I found a wonderful article in The Wrestler from November 1970, and it's written by Tony Flood. And he says that Bobby Barnes is not as skillful as men like George Kidd or Ken Joyce. He's not as colourful as Les Kellett, and he's not as tough as Mick McManus. But there's a little bit of Joyce Kellett and McManus in him. Just a little bit. It's like just burying him.
That's a joke only British people look at.
Yeah.
Anyway, then let's get on with it. Let's watch it.
Oh, all right, here we go. We're putting it up here. I've watched a few minutes of this match, and it's gonna be fucking hilarious. You can find it on YouTube, but more than likely, I'm just gonna put this up on our YouTube page, so you'll just be able to watch it along with us. So here we go. Let's do it.
Those are some tiny pants.
So Bobby Barron actually has sort of those chintzy bits off sofa tied into his pants in this match, and. Dan will be well aware that Big Daddy had a costume that was completely made out of a sofa, so I think Bobby Barron got the little trimming off the end of it.
That robe he has on looks like a robe you'd have in your like a throw rug you'd have in your living room.
That was his grandma's curtains.
I was going to say, it's very curtain-like.
I thought there was a young Dalton Castle running around the ring looking for that robe.
It does look a little bit like Dalton Castle, you're right.
It's like this one is actually understated for him.
Now, what year was this? This was 73?
Yeah.
So the bleach blonde look was already going over in England at that time. How long do you think they've been doing the bleach blonde look for the heels?
So he definitely had that since about 65 when he was tagging with Adrian Street and the Hells Angels, and his hair's just grown up because it was a bit more bouffanty when he started out. I did see a match of his from '86 the other day, and he's got some multicolored hair, sort of rainbow.
How old would this man have been in 1986?
Back in the 80s, he went through all various different colors. He had all pink at one time, all purple, and in different colors.
Oh, look at Leslie's happy little face, and the announcer's not so happy face.
That's a giant bow tie. That is the biggest bow tie I've ever seen.
So the announcer is Ernie Lofthouse, and he was one of the people that would send out the match cards from joint promotions, send out, the wrestlers to various. There's something that hasn't aged very well at all in the crowd.
Yeah, that's not good. Put that down. Stop this.
I remember Kent Walton's really. Oh, that's an ingenious invention. I don't know how I was doing that. And it's like, shut Kent.
That guy had the biggest Adam's apple I've seen on a human being.
Oh, it's giant. This is how I stretch in the morning too, just like that.
So the referee is Alan Colbeck, who's from Wakefield, but he was trained by a very famous wrestler of 30s and 40s called Ernest Baldwin, and his gym was above the White Bear pub in Tingley. So I just love this idea. They've knocked it down now, unfortunately. I used to go, get taken when I was a kid for meals and stuff. And it's like this Tudor building, and just this image of them training and then going to the bar.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
That jumping routine he was just doing. Wow.
It was quite the defense.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm going to go to a bar tonight. No, I'm not. But I'm going to go to a bar tonight, and I'm going to get into a bar fight. And when we start, I'm just going to start jumping.
It's even more effective if you're wearing those little gold trunks, too.
You know what? I'll have Rachel make me some out of some old curtains. I'll do it.
So that move that Bobby Barnes was doing just there, where he had his arm across the chin, Kent Walton describes that as a Japanese stranglehold because he was famous for just either making up names of wrestling holds or just giving other. And there's actually a Japanese stranglehold later on in the match that's completely different that he calls a Japanese stranglehold.
So this guy's as good at calling wrestling matches as Vince McMahon.
Yeah, what a maneuver!
And then from there. I can't get over these trunks. They are just something.
He's been to Tasseltown, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Only the fancy smuggling for his budgies.
That's right. God damn it. What a pretty escape, which I don't say very often in wrestling. A pretty escape. I said when Zelina Vega in any match and she escaped something. Anyway, all right, we're back in a minute. Very gentle, these guys.
Yeah, I think Les Kellett's massaging him right now.
Yeah.
He's trying to weaken the muscles with a massage move.
The thing about Kellett was he sort of played this comedy character in the ring, but backstage he was a legitimate hard bastard. He was generally seen as being the toughest guy of the era, and then he's just doing this in the ring.
We might get to it after, but the story of when the pig bit his hand.
Oh God!
And that was now. Oh, well, we can do it now while they're doing this. Apparently, a pig bit his hand and it got infected. The hand swelled up to twice its normal size. They didn't want him to wrestle with it, so he just put his hand on the floor and said, "Stamp on it."
Oh,
John Moxley was watching.
And those
just a pendulum headbutt
and swollen. Just stomp on it to get it out. That'll fix it.
Yeah, he just had someone stomp on it to get the pus and all the blood out, and then went out and wrestled.
Yeah, that's one tough son of a bitch right there.
So you might have seen that he did the pendulum headbutt thing that Ilya Dragunov and John Moxley have taken as a tribute to Kellett.
I just saw him tickle the referee's belly button.
Yeah. I was going to say, do we see the tickle hold?
You'll see another one before this finishes as well.
I used to utilize that on my kids back in the day. The tickle hold. look at the referee.
He's thinking about the tickle.
Oh my God.
I like that he's actually wearing a Fred Perry shirt because normally that wouldn't have got past the sponsorship police. So he's very craftily probably being sponsored for wearing that.
How did he get that shirt on? That is a tight shirt. Good Lord.
We'll give you
We'll
give you a free shirt, but it'll a child's small.
Yeah, it looks like those referee shirts that Vince McMahon used to wear back in the day. Get a child's extra small, put it out there, go ref. Oh, now he's got an arm. This looks like it hurts though. It doesn't look
that
pleasant.
arm is really torqued in there.
Definitely is. Looks like some definite torque on the shoulder. 100%. The fans are like right up to the ring, like fucking right there. There's like no room.
Oh,
we're not going to see any dives in between the ropes, are we? Any suicide plunges or anything?
No. These guys, unless they can't help it, do not go outside the ring. It's more dangerous outside the ring than it is in.
We have reviewed a match.
The ring, you're getting stabbed.
Yeah. Well, we reviewed a match that was filmed at Bradford St George's Hall before, and there was a bad refereeing decision, and two blokes got in the ring in the mid-round interval to argue with the ref.
Wow, Jesus Christ! Yeah. They weren't fucking around.
I've seen
and then they just good-naturedly left.
Umbrellas, loaded handbags, everything used by the trainees.
My favorite thing about that was the round end, and then he just slapped him in the face.
Yeah.
It's like pow.
He hasn't quite gone full Kellett just yet.
Oh, Kellett was deaf in one ear, so he'd keep pretending he hadn't heard the end of round bell.
I mean, that's a hell of an excuse.
And then he'd sort of apologise to the ref.
I'm surprised Noam Dar didn't try that gimmick in NXT UK. Like, I can't hear out of this ear, so I didn't hear the bell.
Right now
he's playing with his tassels.
I think he just gave him a magic thumb, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he did.
I think that thumb went where it shouldn't, but that'll break a whole quick.
Oh, thumb up the bum.
He's just grabbed Colbeck's ass as well.
He showed the ref what he did.
He said, "I swear that's legal in fucking Japan. I'll show you. Watch."
If it doesn't go past the knuckle, it's fine.
It's right. Quit whining. It was outside the pants. You'll be fine. Oh, great. That's great.
The tassel tickling, bum thumbing phenom that is Les Kellett.
Someone's gonna have to update the Wikipedia.
Oh God, head on over there. This is like an interesting tie-up. I've never seen a tie-up like that before.
It's always gutting that we don't get period commercials from the 70s stuff. That'd have been amazing.
Some of that stuff's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
Little slice there.
Oh, Les Kellett says, "Fuck you."
It's an immaculate judo roll.
Oh yeah, that's some good shit right there. Oh,
Now, were knee pads really a thing, or did both of these guys just option not to wear them?
Weren't a thing.
They weren't really a thing over there.
No, I don't really wear knee pads.
Well, the idea of it is that you're supposed to be doing either a standing hold or you can only do a continuing hold if you haven't let go, maintained wrist control or Carter style. Kellett's mocking Barnes' taunt.
this is me dancing around in my kitchen listening to Taylor Swift this morning. It looked a lot like that.
Pushing one of the kids out of the way to continue the dance moves.
Move.
Three.
What
There you go.
pinfall.
Yeah, what a pinfall off the Benny Hill special.
I had that music going in my head too.
Thursday around the ring.
That's one way to bait your opponent into a fucking penny predicament is just to run around in a circle.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Catch up and pin them.
I have seen this match quite a few times, and I'm sure at this point the commentator says that Les Kellett hasn't even broken a sweat. He's probably talking about buying pigs for his farm to his second.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. I live in Nebraska. If they're having a pig farm conversation, I know what's going on, so I can read their lips. They're definitely talking about it. They're 100%.
Leslie's saying one of those fuckers is going to bite me one day. I just know it.
I can feel it. They'll eat anything. I don't know if you know that about pigs, but literally, if you want to get rid of a body, throw it in with some pigs. They'll eat it.
That's in there.
Yeah.
Not feeding it Bricktop. Feed them to pigs, Errol.
Mm-hmm.
With Les Kellett being a pig farmer, I kind of was wishing that he had the hillbilly Jim look with just the suspenders and nothing on beneath.
Oh,
if Vince McMahon had signed him, he'd have put him in overalls straight away.
Damn it! I'll get these
Oh God damn it! You say you're a pig farmer?
That comedy wrestling you do over there, but you can put these overalls on. I heard you like pigs. Come on, put the overalls on. No, you don't have to wear anything under you. That's fine. God damn.
He would have made Natalia his pig, Les Kellett's pig as well, probably, just to fuck her over a bit more.
Oh yeah, probably. Remember when Natalia had that farting gimmick? When her gimmick was that she would like fart.
Yeah.
Did you see that Les just stood on Bobby Barnes' crotch and then he's like going like it was accidental?
Oh, we missed a dick stamp.
Yeah.
How dare I?
I did not try that.
Just a little tap of the plums.
Orange Cassidy should adopt that.
Oh, he should. I mean, most devastating move he does.
Yeah.
Here we go. Test
Oh.
string.
And now we're going to get a Japanese stranglehold.
Yeah, that's a proper one.
It looks
They're
more
getting
like a
ready to play a
Japanese
game of hide and
blindfold
seek.
hold. Yeah, hide and seek. Yeah.
It's combing his hair.
Forget Brutus Beefcake. Les Kellett's the real barber.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, lovely hair. Pow!
Ow, on the top of the head. Looks fair now.
I love that. That's amazing.
It's mad, isn't it? Les Kellett's 58 and yet he's just still like so smooth and comedic timing's just spot on.
That's crazy. So this is 1979, and Rob says, and you're saying he's in his 60s, and Rob says he saw a match with him in what, 1986?
Oh no, it's Bobby Barnes. Was
okay.
still wrestling in
I was
the
going to say
80s.
that would be in his 90s.
Les did wrestle into his 70s, but his TV matches ended in 75.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah. Although there is a picture from when they opened the Bradford and Arndale shopping centre, and it looks just like that Mall of America thing from Nitro, where they've got people on the mezzanine level, like looking down the rings in the centre. So I think Eric Bischoff saw Les Kellett and went, "That's for me."
Too bad they didn't have him doing like a Pasta Mania ad. That would have been
Yeah.
Well, Kellett did own a cafe as well as a pig farm.
Well, of course he did.
Didn't
Pig
have
farm
any
cafe. Was it
At
called the
least you know where
Pig Farm
he's
Cafe?
At least you know where he's getting his bacon and sausages from.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. So there's like this British, there's this British dude that fights in UFC. I don't remember his
Because Bobby Barnes was complaining that he'd pinched his inner thigh, and then like he was showing the ref, and then Les Kellett made him lie down to show it, and then he pinned him.
like he was fucking his balls is what I thought was happening.
It's a stiff elbow.
Oh.
We've lost him there.
This is one of the things that we've seen watching a lot of World of Sport recently, that because they're bringing in a lot of ex-wrestlers, the refs tend to get quite physical when they're breaking up.
So the only person you see in WWE really doing that is like Earl Hebner. I think on a couple weeks ago on 97 Raw, we saw Earl Hebner pulling. Yeah. Oh God, that would look devastating.
I can't believe that you two on this week's UTT were harsh, to say the least, with the greatest of all time.
Sorry, Mayor. I didn't know you left.
We lost the ref.
Sorry, Glenn. Who are we harsh about?
The greatest referee of all time.
Oh, Max Ward.
Max Ward, of course.
He had a bad day. He had a bad day that day.
Oh God, here he goes.
Oh, this was another Kellett special where he'd fall out of the ring and just clip his feet on the bottom rope.
Oh wow, he would have been tough to eliminate from the Royal Rumble. I'll tell you that much.
He looks like a bulldog licking piss off a thistle.
Oh fuck!
Punches are illegal in World of Sport as well, so if he lands one of those,
no close fists.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I didn't know. I've been wrestling for 70 years, but I didn't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of rules he doesn't know.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's how heels work, right? We don't know rules.
Yeah, but he's the face.
At the end of the round, he just slaps Bobby Barnes. That was hiding behind the ref.
That was not so much a ref bump as a Barnes bump.
Yeah.
Jumped him right into him. That's great. That's great. Sorry, the mayor left. Came back and we didn't even notice.
I said we lost the mayor.
Oh, well, I was sorry, Dan.
I keep getting disconnected, and then like my screen freezes.
Oh, what the fuck, man? I'm blaming YouTube. I don't know why, but I am.
So the audio version of this show is just going to be laughter with about 5 minutes of commentary.
Is that a knockout? With the Sid show, you've got to watch it. You have to watch it on YouTube. You can't listen to it.
No, it's not a knockout. It takes more than that to knock Les Kellett out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to hit him in the head with a pig.
There's an old lady trying to push him back into the ring as he was trying to roll out to take a breather.
Around.
The crowd, especially the front row lot, they always like to get involved.
Jesus, some stiff strikes.
Some brutal knee strikes there.
So it was always a classic in World of Sport that the heel would get his body into the ref's vision so he could deliver like a closed fist punch to the gut.
A
so
subtle
you're allowed
way
to
to
use
cheat.
knee strikes, but not a closed fist.
Yeah, like he did there.
Yeah, because call me crazy, but I would rather be punched dead in the face than kneed in the face any day of the week.
Yeah, a million times. Getting kneed in the face is like getting hit with a cinder block in the face.
Yeah, not good. Here we go.
Oh, I think we got a pin.
1-1.
Got him.
Yeah,
It's 1-1 now, isn't it?
it is.
All tied up. I like the way he chucked him over.
Now, a lot less World of Sport matches end like your Heritage Cup matches that are always 2-1. Unfortunately, this one's looking like it's got 2-1 written all over it.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the guy who's the corner guy's hair over here. It looks like he's got a mohawk when you look at him from the front, but when he turns his head, it ain't a mohawk at all.
Just one side of retreating. One side of it's not retreating, it's fucking off.
Yeah, it's Ron Wright, 1973, isn't it?
Just give up. The hair, you have lost the hair competition, buddy. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Now, do these corner guys, are they the standard corner guys for these gentlemen, or is it like a sanctioned corner person?
So sometimes they'd have famous corner guys, and sometimes they'd just be, the local that they'd picked out or whatever.
It was dependent on where they are as well. Like a mate of mine, he used to play drums at Walthamstow Assembly Halls. So when they're wrestling there, they'd say, "Are you working that night?" They say, "No." Say, "I'll come down and be a second."
Be a fun job to have, I guess. Get to talk to Les Kellett about his pig farm.
And you get to towel down Bobby Barnes.
I mean, a man in trunks like that, why wouldn't I want to towel him down? You know what I'm saying?
Just don't play with his tassels.
Oh, this was another Kellett classic where he forces people to ballroom dance with him.
I love it. Sweetheart.
That's also another good way to break up any kind of, mixed martial arts hold. And a big kiss on them.
They should do that in MMA. Guy comes in, tries to get you in the guard, you hop up on him, try to kiss him. Nobody thought of that yet.
Yeah.
Give it a try. I'd be confused.
Yeah.
Is it more socially acceptable than a thumb up the ass?
That's a good point.
When Kellett's getting told off, even though he's 58 at this point, he always has this quality of looking like a scolded schoolboy.
Yeah. Yeah, his facial expressions are fucking funny, that's for sure. And even like when he does something and he's not supposed to do it, like the innocent look that he gets on his face, very childlike. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That knee in the back looked fucking gnarly.
All these knees are just looking stiff as Jesus Christ.
In the lumbar area. Oh.
The referee's admonishing him. I think he just took a point away. I'm just kidding.
I think he may well have got public warning at that point because we've not got the sound on. We can't. So they had like a card system. So if you got 3 public warnings, you were disqualified.
Oh, okay. I think social media should be like that. You should be like soccer. If you say something really stupid, you get a yellow card, and if you say something stupid again, you get a red one, and then you're sent off for at least you got 3 days. You're gone. You can't come back for 3 days.
That'd be great. There'd be nobody on Twitter at that point.
You're right.
They did actually experiment with sin bins in British wrestling in the 70s. And so I think like if you were in a tag match and you got 2 public warnings, you'd get 5 minutes in the sin bin. And then they had this thing where if you were sin bin twice in a match, you got a £25 fine.
Oh, wow.
Did Kellett just pretend to tap out on Bobby's back?
Yes.
And then he's caught him with that. He's genius. Did you guys see that?
Run it back.
I'm going to run it back.
Roll that back. That was genius. He's in the crab. What's this?
Oh, yeah, because he reached his hand up. Oh, yeah.
And then Bobby Barnes is celebrating.
And he goes for the handshake.
Goes for the handshake.
1,
2, 3.
Oh, that was good.
That's amazing.
That kind of reminds me of the Gunther 2-tap when he used 2 taps instead of 3.
Yeah.
And it didn't count as the tap out.
Look at it.
Angry.
The second's got him in a chokehold.
I can't get over this guy's hair. Like, somebody take him to the bag and shave the rest of his hair off. It's too much. Stop this. Stop it.
The corner man in the red, you mean?
Yeah. His hair, it's killing me. So Les Kellett is the winner, right?
Yeah.
He's hanging on the bottom rope again by his feet.
Bobby's still trying to kick the shit out of
Put
him.
him back in the ring. Let him go.
So he's actually up 2-1 right now, right?
Yeah, he won.
Yeah, he's won 2-1.
2 falls, 2
Yeah.
submissions for a knockout. So he's won it.
Wow. What a finish. That might be the best finish to a match I've ever seen. That was amazing.
And you will never laugh watching wrestling like you do in a Les Kellett match.
Well, I don't know. I watched Halloween Havoc 91 and 93. That was pretty funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, but that's a case of if you didn't laugh, you'd cry.
That's a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah. You're laughing so you wouldn't cry. It's a good point. This was just genuinely funny.
And they always say in wrestling that funny doesn't draw money, but Les Kellett was the biggest draw of the early 70s. He was the person that was on World of Sport the most. He was the person who got the biggest crowd in all the town halls, etc. So funny does draw.
And I think funny has a good place. I mean, Chad Gable's a pretty fucking serious wrestler, but his gimmick's really funny. You know what I mean?
And Noam Dar's proving it.
Yeah. Noam Dar's great. Yeah,
he was riding around on a camel the other week.
Was he? I haven't watched NXT in a while.
There is a bit in the Les Kellett Leon Harris match where Kellett rides him round the ring like a donkey. He's like on all fours, and he's kicking him like his spurs in his chest.
Oh goddamn! I need to see that match.
Oh yeah, we'll watch that at some point, Brent. Don't worry.
Good. Well, now that we've seen one Les Kellett match, I think we need to see more. I don't know about you, Mayor, but I want to see more.
Yeah. Les Kellett. I don't think that I can remember anyone in that time frame or even later than that kind of had that comedic style wrestling that he had, other than maybe Bobby Heenan. Now I know he's known as a manager, but when he was wrestling, he did kind of have a similar, nothing to that extent. That was like turned up to like a 12 out of 10 on the comedic end. But I feel like Bobby Heenan kind of probably tried to be a little similar to that, even though he probably had no access to seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want a sort of a modern day wrestler who can turn the comedy up, he's a local wrestler to where I'm from. It's a guy called Wing Commander Nash. His base gimmick is like a 1940s pilot. If you've ever seen Blackadder, he's a bit like Lord Flashheart out of that in the World War I episode. That dude is ridiculously entertaining. And just I've been watching his matches for years, and he never fails to make me laugh.
The funny thing is, when you said his name, I was like, "That sounds like a pilot." And
But he comes out to come fly with me. He's got one of those scarves that's made to look like it's going in the breeze. He's got the goggles on and everything.
And he can't get into the ring properly, so he just sort of falls over the top rope into the ring.
That sounds amazing.
I don't think I've ever seen him win a match, and he's like my favorite wrestler.
Well, he never, with that gimmick, he probably shouldn't win matches.
And there's like a Three Faces of Foley thing going on, isn't there, with Miles's dad and El Commander? Oh, and Stone Cold Nash, he's got 4 faces.
He did Nash Hogan once as well in a Rumble. We started chanting, "You're a racist." and Nash Hogan never came out again. Similarly, we don't see El Commando that much anymore because the trunks he wore for that were very small.
Oh my god, that's hilarious! You British people and your fucking chants, I love you, you bastards. That's amazing. Fucking hell. Well, I don't know. I think that's it. I don't think we got anything else, do we?
No. Where can we find you guys?
Yeah. Where can people find you?
I'm over on Twitter at DanGriffin21, usually tweeting about wrestling that's a minimum 6 weeks out of date or movies that are 25 years out of date. If you want to hear more of me talking about stuff, I'm over on SJP World Media, doing The Volley with my strike partners, the magnificent Matt Lewis and Connor from Connor Knows Footy. And I'm also on the Doctor Who pod. Brent?
The Doctor Who podcast with Danny Inside. Make sure you check it out.
Yep, that one over there. And I'm also on Unbooking the Territory and all the associated side projects. that the better half of UTT is going to reel off now for you.
Oh, well, this is going to throw me now because we're going to use this for one of our upcoming projects. So we're going to slide this into a Kellett club. That's an upcoming project. But you can find me at UTT Rob. It's really more about the neutrals than it is about the followers. I'm absolutely more than happy to follow back. As Dan says, we've got the main show where we're looking at first and lasts of wrestling, so debuts, finales, that kind of thing. And we do have another side project on Stacking the Territory, where we are going through the build to one of the biggest wrestling matches of all time, when 18 million people watched Big Daddy versus Giant Haystacks at Wembley in 1981. And having a lot of fun doing it.
We are,
yes.
And it's if we're going to go with the full Yorkshire parlance, it's unstacking Dadatory, not unstacking T-Dadatory, you uncultured swine, Glenn.
You put the T on the end of the last word.
Actually, that's my fault because Glenn can't ever remember it, and then I have to say it, and I'm American, so what do I do?
But I shouldn't be a drop on where they should.
That's true. So I like went back and started listening to like your guys' very first episodes, and like seriously, people go out there and listen to it. I mean, the research that Rob does when you guys talk about the shows, and the funny ways that you guys talk about the shows while bringing the information into it. Your show is really, really great, and I even enjoyed like the very first episodes, like your Bill Watts era shows. They were really good. So, tip of the cap to you guys because you guys are doing a great show over there. So everybody should check out the UGT podcast. It's some good stuff.
It is all Rob. I just turn up and get pissed.
It's all. Yeah, they'll tell you what beer you should drink while you watch the show they watch. What else more do you want?
Yep.
And I mean, we're massive fans of your output as well. You know, the Warren to Attitude and your superstars and the I Don't Know shit, which is just glorious, really.
Beautiful.
It is.
Glenn, is there anybody else you need to plug before we get you out of here?
No, sir. I did it all on the Dan
Yeah,
forgot
they just plugged themselves.
So. Oh, that's DDC. Yeah, DC and Doc.
Yeah, check them out. What about you, Mayor of Drew, Mayor and Tire?
Well, hopefully I don't get. I keep getting booted out where my screen's just spinning and I can hear you, but I can't see what's going on. So if I just sat here and looked like a deer in headlights at times, because I couldn't see what was going on. I mean, I was listening the whole time. But anyway, as of yesterday, we always plug Mr. Thomas Bryce 2017, as he is a fantastic man that loves to promote the local U.S. sports here and all professional wrestling, and big in the wrestling scene. So follow him at Thomas Bryce 2017, Thomas Bryce 2020, and the new fantastic website sportswithaz.wireradio.org.
You got it. You got it. Make sure you check out all our side projects. They mentioned the Sid Show, Warring to Attitude. We're right now AWI Pod Worldwide. We're venturing to 2000 WCW. We're watching the month of March as we lead into Uncensored 2000. And it was a lot of fun what we watched last night. We watched an episode of Thunder, so make sure you check that out. And that's it. That's all. I got nothing else. The only thing left to do is for Glenn to say goodbye.
Goodbye.